special relationship between Ireland and Palestine?
Yeah, so I suppose it's the same colonial playbook, isn't it, that was visited on Ireland is now being visited on Palestine. I would have to say, and as this horror is going on, to compare the two, I think is insulting to Palestine, and I think most people would concede that in Ireland. I mean, what the Irish went through versus what the Palestinians are going through right now, it's just on a different planet, I think. And I also think, to be fair, I wouldn't be known for giving the British any credit, but just talking to friends of mine in the north recently, I think everyone agrees the scale of cruelty and depravity of the Israelis right now. Don't think we ever saw the British do that, because they didn't really have. I think they had an ideological superiority to us, but I don't know if they hated us in the way that the Israelis hate the Palestinians. I think it's on a level of, to me, it seems like psychosis. I think Zionism is a psychosis. I think people will look back on it as a kind of a mass national psychosis. But to address your question, yeah, so look, it's the same colonial playbook. I mean, the Irish identify with being, taken off their land, being murdered, because the colonizer, in our case, the British, felt that we were, religiously and ethnically inferior to them. We had the same demonization, dehumanization. We were depicted as simian, uncouth, terrorists, I suppose. There used to be a Punch magazine that was popular in Britain at the time, which used to kind of manufacture consent for the colonial atrocities in Ireland by depicting us as I say, monkey-like, inferior. There was even a type of, I think it was a strenology, I think it's called. It was like a kind of a pseudoscience which tried to prove that the Irish skull was closer to the ape than it was to, say, the Anglo-Saxon skull. So they were trying to prove that we were more associated with apes and closer to Africans, who they had already kind of decreed as the lowest in the scale of humanity. So there was a kind of a pseudoscience to prove that we're just inferior across all metrics, and so we can be dehumanized and it's okay to kill us. And you see that exact same thing today. And I think one of the main things that connect us is, if you're a Palestinian and you have the temerity to stand up and fight back, again, as is enshrined in international law, then you're depicted as a terrorist and you're somehow a warmonger and all you know is violence. And the Irish had the exact same experience. So